As the name suggests, Paddle Planner is usually used for planning paddling routes. However, you can use this to plan hiking routes as well in a few select areas. We're going to start out on the home page here, and we're going to click on the Build a Route button. Some of the paddling areas listed here do have hiking trails as well. I am going to choose one in Algonquin. And here you can see a few of the routes in purple, and this is a very popular one over here. This is the Western Uplands Backpacking Trail. And you can see that it has a lot of different campsites. The backpacking campsites are in purple, where the canoeing campsites are in red. Before we get started, we need to change a few of the settings. Make sure that the map is in route mode rather than explore mode. This will allow us to find the distance from one place to another. And we are also going to have to change a couple of the settings. Right now it is set in double portaging mode, which is not ideal for hiking. Click on the settings and then go to Route Builder Settings. This map is by default in metric, which you're probably used to, so that's going to be in meters and kilometers. You can change the speed. Beginner, average, veteran. These speeds are 5 kilometers per hour paddling, but on a hiking trip, we don't really care about paddling speed. That's not going to matter. What we do care about is the portaging speed. This application is built for paddling, so the terminology here has to do with paddling. The portaging speed, though, is the same as the hiking speed. So right now it is set at 3.3 kilometers per hour. We are not going to care about load and unload time in minutes because that's a very paddling specific thing as well. So we're just going to make sure that this is set at average. This is very important right now. We need to make sure that the portage trips are set at single. If you are double portaging, that means you go, let's just look at a portage here. For example, if we zoom in on this portage, double portaging means you're actually taking 3 trips across the portage. 1, drop off that load, go back to get the second load, and then carry that last load across. So that's 3 times across. By default, this map is set at double portaging, and it treats portaging and hiking the same. So if we try to just by default go here from the entry point or the access point over to this campsite, it is actually going to triple up the distance because it is assuming, okay, I'm set at double portaging, so let's go there, drop off a load, go back, get our second load, and go. I doubt many of you are doubling up your backpacking. You're carrying everything in one trip. So we need to change that. Again, in the settings, we'll go to the Route Builder Settings and make sure it is set at single. So that you'll see the difference here between double, which is the default. It says 15.1 kilometers, and you might be thinking, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's because it's set at double portaging. So make sure when you are hiking, you set it to single. The other thing that you'll want to do when you are planning a hiking trip is to change the route types to using hiking trails only. This might not matter sometimes, but on some routes it does. By default, the map will use whatever trails are available, whether that's a paddling route or a hiking route, whatever gets you there the fastest. And if you don't have a canoe or a kayak with you, or some other type of thing that you can paddle, you probably don't want to be routing across a lake. So we're going to make sure that it is set at using hiking trails only. All right, so now we are ready to figure out all of our distances and such. A simple hiking route is from one point to one other point. So we can start at this access point, and let's say we want to go up here to Clara Lake, and I'm just going to click on the campsite, and it's going to find me the fastest way, which for hiking trails is usually pretty obvious. But this gives you a whole bunch of other information, like how long is it going to take you? It'll take approximately 7 hours using that 3.3 kilometers per hour hiking speed. You can adjust all of these things here. For example, if I want to slow that down a little bit, let's say it's at 3 instead of 3.3, I'll click on custom in the settings, and that will adjust the time. And that is how you set up a simple hiking route in Paddle Planner. Again, this is mainly used for planning paddling trips. However, you can, with a couple of adjustments, use it to plan your hiking trips as well in these popular areas.